Welcome everybody to Let's Play Gnomoria with Salamander, and I've had a couple of runs with this game. The first one lasted a very short time. The second one was I've abandoned it because I wasn't happy with what came out of it, and I've made two more. I wouldn't say successful, but at least tries, and lost, or rather failed, losing my army guys and abandoned them. I now think I know enough to do a kind of a proper run as a Let's Play series, and I'm not skilled at this game, but I enjoy it, and I would love for you guys to get a look at it. Gnomoria is still in beta, and we are currently on version 0.9.16. There is a 17 out as in a kind of a release candidate procedure, but I'm still back on this version. So what's Gnomoria? Well, it's a kind of a Dwarf Fortress game, and it's an sandbox world. You decide what you want to do, but the mechanics kind of is kind of similar to Dwarf Fortress, in that you start out with a small company, and that one gets expanded as you play along. It's not as complicated as Dwarf Fortress. The graphics is much nicer, and kind of think that gnomes are a bit more obedient. It's easier to get them to do what you want to do compared to Dwarf Fortress. I put up like 150 hours of Dwarf Fortress on YouTube. You can watch it if you like in my channel. This game appealed to me because it kind of reminds me of Dwarf Fortress, but I wouldn't say it's simpler, but it's certainly less complicated. That's about what I'm going to tell you about the game. This Let's Play is not going to be done as a tutorial as such. I will explain a bit what I do, but if you want to get into it, there's probably proper tutorials to find on YouTube. But I will nonetheless explain what I do, the thinking about it, and as this game can be kind of slow-paced in bits, I will record most of my gaming, but most probably when things get slow and I'm just waiting for things to get done, I will I will play the game off camera, and I will bring you up to date when I start recording again what's been happening behind the scene. I managed to find the map that I really wanted to play, and you can play along. Let's start a new game just to show you the generation part of the game. So let's go to advanced. Let's do it like this for starter. I will be playing on normal, and there is presets to lower enemy threat. There is another version with high enemy threat. I will go on normal. You can choose to decide on what depth metal is going to be found, and if it's going to be abundant or very scarce. I will go with strictly normal. I haven't played. Well, my first game was actually on normal all the way, and I didn't know about the game. I was playing a lot along the Dwarf Fortress rules, and I'm kind of still stuck in that a bit, because I'm stuck in the game mechanics of Dwarf Fortress. So I'm kind of trying to adjust to the way this game works. You can set what kind of enemies you will get. I will keep everything. I think this one is for if you want to ramp up. This one isn't normal, so I'm going to keep that one off. You can name your kingdom. You can randomize if you are too bored to create your own name for your kingdom. You can choose a map size. This is the random seeding of the game. So let's see what this does very quickly. So let's go with everything turned down, and let's go with this random seed. You can do a quick preview of the land, and it comes out like this, completely flat. But if we ramp this one up, let's go with medium height, let's go with medium bumpiness, and let's put that one in the middle as well, and you will get this instead. And most unfortunately, you can't scroll up to see how high or scroll down to see the depth. You can only get a kind of a general view what the land is going to look like. If we take this one to smooth, well, it's going to be smoother. So now we get a kind of a ridge, a small bump, and a valley kind of down below. You can't rotate the map either in this preview thingy. If you do like, let's go for super smooth, and let's go for wide, and do it like this, it will come out like this. You only get a kind of a plateau on this side, but I have had a big fight with a random generator, and I actually need to check because I can't remember the numbers. 334 and 25 for Kingdom Center, and this is a way to kind of scroll the map in different direction. If let's preview this, and I'm going to go for the large one. So this will be the map. No, this will not be the map, because I'm going to go for all flat. This is the map we are going to start with. This is Lake Invictus. If we choose to put this one to 0, if you remember where the lake was in the previous view, if you do it again, the lake would move to a bit on the right of the map, but I want it in the center, so let's go back to 25. This is not perfectly what I wanted. I had generated the map that I really wanted, but fortunately I was pressing back, and I came back to the start menu, and I couldn't remember the random seed, and I couldn't remember the adjustments I made to the map. So there you go. This is as close as I could get it without spending a couple of hours regenerating map over and over and over again. So we have we will do farming, and we will do horticulture, meaning we will get saplings from trees and we will regrow trees. There's 3 types of trees in this game. It's birch, and this is birch, this is pine, this is apple trees, and there's also orange trees in this game. But as far as I can see from this map, we don't get any apple trees, but we will get them in another way later in the game. It's not really that important to have all the types of trees. There's also stuff you can grow, and you can grow strawberries, and this is strawberries. You can grow cotton, and this is cotton. You can grow wheat, and we will have a stack of wheat seeds in our inventory. In what we bring with us when we arrive, and you can also grow grapes, and grapes can only be bought from traders that would arrive to us once we get a bit further into the game. And I think that is all that there is into the farming. I will explain more when we get into the game. So let's actually, this is a kind of a pre-render, so let's actually generate a map. It will take a couple of minutes maybe. So while you watch this boring generation staple growing, I will go out in the kitchen and get myself a cup of tea. I will be back with you soon. Yes, I'm back, and the tea is in the cup. Still comparisons with Dwarf Fortress. In Dwarf Fortress, you start with 7 dwarfs. Naturally, in this game, you get an additional 2 persons, or actually gnomes. I'm going to call them gnomes. I will try to avoid to call them dwarves because I'm still kind of stuck in the Dwarf Fortress concept. You get 9 gnomes, and they will come with a skill set that can be improved as they do certain tasks. We will need to go into the military sooner or later. We won't do that from the start. I want to do it in this playthrough for the kind of first couple of episodes. The game divides the year into 4 seasons, and each season is 12 days. At the end of every, or rather at the start of every new season, you have a chance to get more gnomes into your society, and that depends on the value of your civilization. So, oh crap, double crap, and some extra crap. I actually forgot to rename us to Lake Invictus. We will now be given a random name instead of our civilization, our kingdom. I could actually restart it, but let's say we are Lake Invictus in name, although other people call us something else. Yeah, so here we are, by the Lake Invictus, and I was talking about season. Yeah, you gain value of your kingdom depending on stuff you build, stuff you create, and as the value go up, you will get you will higher your chance to get new gnomes coming to your civilization. They are in the game known as nomads, because they come with a skill set, but they don't come with a they are not designated to do special tasks. So here we are, and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to zoom out. So this is the world, and we if we have a look at this, we are now at depth level 0. If we go down, you can see in the upper left corner that it goes on and on and on, and we will hit some kind of a lava level around this place. I think you actually could see it, but maybe you can't. So let's go all the way up again. I've also, or rather not me, but the game shows you how much food and drink you have, and it updates in real time. You need food for your gnomes, you need drink for your gnomes. I've never run out of food, but I've been very close several times, and in the beginning the game kind of tends, for me at least, tends to be kind of a farming sim more than anything else, because I tend to have a problem with keeping the food up. Drink, well, your gnomes, as dwarves in Dwarf Fortress, need drink, and it hasn't to be. You don't need alcohol, but alcohol is what you primarily will make. I will go into other drinks later in this game. And actually, this is starting to sound more and more like a tutorial. If you play the game, you will have to bear with me a couple of minutes more while I drag on about stuff like this. So, drink. You could actually give them water. The thing is, the better quality of the drink, as in booze, is the best. They will drink. They will need to drink less often and will be more occupied with actually doing tasks, things. I'll never run out of food, but I presume they will leave if you can't give them food. I'm not sure if they die or if they will most likely work. Which will lower their work rate if they don't get food. I will most likely be. You can add other things if you want to keep a check on your level of ore, or your level of metal bars, or your level of wood, or whatever. I will most likely do that, but that will be for later. So here we are, and the game will be pretty easy going the first season, the second season, maybe all the way into the first year, depending if you rake up the value of your kingdom or not. So let's have a look at these menus pretty quickly. So this is an overview. We got 9 gnomes, 0 workshops, 0 farms, and 0 pastures. And I've forgotten to talk about animals. There is 3 types of animals in the game. You will arrive with 2 jacks, and later on you will be able to acquire more animals. I will get into that when we get there. So this is the worth of our stock. We have no value in constructions, and our total value is 1,687. 1,687. I hope I said it right the first time. So this is diplomacy. I will get into that a bit later when it comes important. Workshops, none. Farms, none. Pastures, none. And rooms, none. So this is stocks. Once we start to set up stockpiles, they will be lining up this way, and we can go into separate stockpiles and see what's actually in them. You can also go into items and see what we actually have, and right now we only have the stuff that we brought with us. So what did we have? What did we bring? Goods. These menus are a bit not really structured the way I would want them to be, but we have to live with it. So we have some seeds, and right now we have 32 strawberry seeds. We have 32 wheat seeds. We bring some fruit. We bring some loaves of bread. The drink is all strawberry wine. Sounds nice. We got some bandages, and we got some straw. And straw is used for food for our livestock, and it is used to make beds. You can also use it as building material if you so choose. But we will be quite short of straw for quite a while. At least I tend to. Furniture, we don't have anything. Mechanisms is a bit for like 1 or 2 years into the game. We will get into that later. Tools. Well, we have two pickaxes, and that is for our mining guys. And we have two felling axes, and that's of course for our woodcutters. Weapons. We got one hand axe made out of copper. That's kind of a cheap one, but we will have to make do with that, and we most probably have some kind of armor. Yeah, we got a copper helmet and most likely a copper breastplate. So it's kind of a starting kit for army guys. And this is tracked items, the things you can see up in the left corner. Help, some kind of help menu to get you started, but yeah. Events, nothing has happened, but here we can look at combat logs and stuff once we get into that. Military is kind of complicated, I think, and that is for later in the game. So let's have a look at population, because that's the important part at this moment in time. So this is all the different occupations that our dwarfs can have, and as you can see, some of them got numbers, and the number tells us how many are allocated to that kind of job. There's a lot of zeros, but that's mostly for things that comes a bit later in the game. You will be given dwarfs that is kind of equipped for a starting out thing. Default uniform, never used that. Deceased, no one is deceased as of yet, but most likely people will die. Professions, this is where thing is getting interesting, and assignments. You can see, well, actually we could start in this one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of basic settings for basic setups for our gnomes, and if you are assigned a miner like these two guys, Pinji and Umad Hastishbuns, they are miners, and they will do mining, masonry and stone carving. They will also do hauling, and hauling is of course bringing stuff from point A to point B. We do have the woodcutters, and they are doing woodcutting, carpentry and wood carving, as well as hauling. We do have the farmers, and they are into the cloth industry, and that's weaving and tailoring, and they are also doing the hauling job. The rancher is taking care of the animals, so that is animal husbandry and butchering. Once we get a surplus of animals, they will breed. And hauling, and they will also do leather working. Further on we got the builders, and they are doing construction and hauling. I misclicked this one, but I think construction and hauling is both in this one as default. Blacksmith, no surprise, everything that comes with metal, and they are doing the hauling job. The engineer adds a bit for later, but they will do quite interesting stuff. I haven't delved anything into it at all, so that will be a learning curve for me. And we got the jeweler, who is taking care of gems that we are going to find, and they are doing hauling as well. So these are now assigned to kind of a standard setup for doing different kind of stuff. And this setup is good, I think, but I think I am going to experiment a bit with this. As you can see, you can create your own setups if you want someone to do both stone and wood, or do something else. And I'm going to tinker with this a bit. So let me tell you about my plan for this one, or rather, let's have that as a cliffhanger, because I think this episode has run its course. So let's have this as a kind of introduction to the game, if you want to keep following this let's play. And as per standard in this type of game, if you want to have a gnome named after you, please feel free to drop a line in the comments below, and I will try to name a gnome after you. If someone has special requests to be soldier or miner, I might be able to accommodate for that, but you will get into the gang anyway if you so please. There was a couple of other things that I thought that I would talk about, but that will be for the next episode. So I'm going to leave this one and sign out and upload this one. I will try to do 1, 2, maybe more episodes tonight, to kind of get us starting. So in the next episode I will tinker a bit with the work settings and try to get our start as optimal as possible. So hopefully I will catch you in the next episode of Gnomoria with me, Salamander. See you then, and bye bye.